Hi, hi. There we go. I think we got it all sorted out now. Anyways, welcome back to another 30 Days of Lives. And today I just want to talk about to be or not to be. And this popped in my head this morning, and I really thought about what that meant because we've heard it time and time again for many years. But then when you actually think about what does that even mean to you? And I've definitely been on this journey of self-discovery, of awakening, of awareness, of really understanding who I am to my core and what that means and what I'm here to do and who I'm here to be and all of those things. And it can be a very rocky up and down roller coaster sometimes. And I just wanted to pop on today and share a little bit about, are you pretending to be or are you being who you are? Because even subconsciously there was things I was still doing that I thought I was showing up authentically as myself. And there's just little programs still running subconsciously of like, you have to show up this way, you have to look a certain way, you have to dress a certain way, you have to have this certain aura or this certain energy about you for people to like you. And how many of you have that way that I have to look a certain way or act a certain way to fit in, to supported? And I'm here to tell you it's not true. Because what happens is then we start to go through life and our mind starts to battle us. And this is where a lot of like our limiting beliefs come in, a lot of our doubts, our insecurities, is because we're not aligning with who we are authentically. We think we are, but we're not actually aligned. And then you go through your days, your weeks, your months pretending to be this person or this character in your life because you want to fit in, you want to get promoted, you want people to recognize you. Everybody wants to be seen, heard, and felt, and you can't convince me otherwise. Because in a world full of people, it's so easy to feel alone. Let me know if you felt that way before. There's a world of people around you, and yet you feel like you're completely alone. And what'll happen is the longer you stay out of alignment with your true self, with your soul, the darker things can feel and can get. And you'll have these dark nights of the soul, especially when you go to make a change in your life, when you start recognizing you're doing all these things just out of habitual patterns of programming, of things people that have told you you are or told you you are not. So then you show up as this person of all these different characters, all these different versions of you to fit in. And then 10, 20, 30 years down the road, you don't even know who you truly are because you've been playing all these different characters. Every job, every schooling experience, every new friend you've made, your family, all of these things you've tried so much to fit in, to feel loved and accepted. And then one day you're like, this doesn't feel right. And something just clicks. And you start to look at the world around you and you start to go within and understand yourself. And then you start asking yourself intuitive questions, getting really curious about why you feel a certain way about things, why things trigger you, why you have the habits you have, why it's tough to break them. And then you're like, that's it. I'm going to get in the best shape of my life. I'm going to go find the career that I want. And you start to make all of these really positive changes in your life, going for the things that you deep down desire. But then what happens is because you're not used to doing that all the time, it's almost like this old version of you is getting ripped out of your body and it wants to stay in there because it's been safe in there for so long. So then when you start to evolve and become this new version of you and really reconnect, not even a new version of you, the person you are at the end of the day. You can have what are called these dark nights of the soul. And I just went through one yesterday, you guys, and it was fucking tough as shit. And I knew it was gonna suck, but I just sat there and embraced it. And if I could explain to you what a dark night of the soul is basically a couple weeks ago, I made a decision that I was no longer gonna continue the habits and patterns that were recreating experiences in my life that I feel like I've outgrown and challenged before, but they kept coming up. And I'm like, that's it. I'm done with this cycle. Let's start a new one. Things were going awesome the first week. And then the second week, things started to get teetery because I was reconnecting to myself. So there was a part of me, a character of me that needed to die in order for me to step into who I am authentically. And it can feel like a cloud has taken over your head, like someone is just beating you up on the inside, like really trying to pull you back down, like the crab in the bucket analogy. Like when one's trying to get out, the others pull it down. And that's what a dark night of the soul can feel like, where you just feel consumed. You feel like you're getting beat up from the inside out because this version of you that has kept you safe for so long, the part that you've played, doesn't want to let go. People call it ego, version of you, a character, whatever it is. Sorry, I keep looking out because it's just so beautiful. I'm out in the country. Um, and when you go through a dark night of the soul, I just want you to remember that on the other side of that is peace, is joy, is freedom, is all of the things that you're working toward. So when you go through a dark night of the soul, just honor it. Just understand that it's temporary pain. It's letting go of something that you no longer have to hold on to. And if you've held on to that weight for so long, it's going to feel really heavy to let go of. And these little dark nights of the soul have happened before, but I wasn't at the awareness of what they were doing, what they were there for, why they were happening until I truly went within and I started getting curious about myself. Why do I think the things that I think? Why do I believe the things that I believe? Why do I have the feelings that I have? And when you start to unlearn and unprogram the way that you've been programmed your whole life, you start to understand what's going on around you. And man, yesterday was heavy, and I'm so grateful that I have the circle of friends that I do. But just know that on the other side of it is greatness. And don't feed into the energy of it. Don't let it win. Don't let it suck you back down into doing and being that old version of you. It's almost like you're just watching a train pass. That's like you want to notice it going by, but you're not going to give it any of your energy. You're not like, oh my goodness, I wonder if we need to turn here. I wonder if it needs to go on a different track. I wonder what's happening ahead. I wonder if there's a block. You're not feeding into it. You're just watching it go by. Like, notice all the thoughts that are coming up. They're probably not even yours. Someone else probably told them to you. You heard them somewhere else in your life, and they're not even your thoughts. They're not even your feelings. So from here on out, I'm going to just start being me and stop pretending and holding on to all these past versions of me and just, I don't know, people say show up authentically, just be yourself, that kind of thing all the time. But what does that truly mean? And to me, it's living a life of peace, of joy, of freedom, of exploration, of experiences, just living, just being. not doing, not being busy, not hustling, not grinding, not all the other bullshit people go through, but that's a whole nother episode, okay? So just know that when you're going through a dark night of the soul, your head's going to feel heavy. It's almost like there's a black cloud in there that's just consuming you. It's like shoving all these thoughts in your head, like you're not good enough. Nobody likes you. All of these things that have played in your mind that you know aren't true now, but it's gonna like show you all of this stuff. It's all gonna come to the surface. It's all gonna be shaken up and shaken out. And just say, okay, have at her. I'm not giving you the attention. I've lived my whole life giving you the attention. It's time to let you go so I can be me. And just know that you're going to wake up the next day and feel fucking fantastic. So if you ever need a hand with that, if you ever want to talk about it, if you're going through a dark night of the soul, just know it is for the better good of you, if that makes sense. So hopefully this made sense and you guys found some great tools and understanding. I'm happy to be able to come on here and share things with you. And we'll see you the next time for the 30 days of 30 lives. And